Greetings. So today I am going to be reviewing and talking about the new, the new Mythic Teal from Finfolk Productions. So that's this one right here. I don't know if you can see. Up close, you can see the fluke is made out of silicone, which is cool. It's quite floppy, you know, you can bend it, which is nice. The monofin inside comes to, you can kind of see that bridge there, I think that's where it comes to. I believe it's the Finesse Wave monofin. I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on that. And you can see the details where the silicone turns into the resin scales, which are really loud, which is pretty cool. They're all overlapped. You can only see little bits of the silicone, the neoprene underneath, which is, you know, that's pretty cool. You can see, yeah, they're all overlapped. And then this is the front of the tail. So the front has these hip fins on it, which are really, really well secured. All these ones up here are glued directly to the silicone. There's one on this side as well. Then this is the back. So the back, you can see, has this really amazing dorsal fin, which is also silicone. And down here you can see there's heel fins, which are pretty cool. They're on pretty well. You can see a bit under here, but they stay that way most of the time. The back of the fluke's pretty much the same. It's pretty cool. And then I'll show you how the zipping works. So you can see the scales all interlock really well here, but then it's actually a flap. It's so secretive. And then the zip comes down from there. This is hard to do with one hand. But you open up the dorsal fin and unzip between it. I'm gonna have to put this down for half a second. There. So you can kind of see it comes down in between. It's quite easy to undo and do back up, which is nice. You can't really do it by yourself when it's on because it's kind of awkward. The zip comes down to here, right to the bottom of the dorsal fin. So, you know, it's kind of awkward if you're trying to put it on yourself, but it's always best to have a friend with you anyway because, yeah, it's more safe that way. I'm gonna go on to some questions from some people. So, one question I got was, did I make it? I definitely did not make this. It's by Finfolk Productions. They do amazing tails. This is their first tail that isn't fully silicone. It's yeah, neoprene. You can see the inside has a lining on it, which is nice. And yes, I didn't make it. and the lovely people at Finfolk Productions did. All handmade, all everything amazing, which is cool. I also got asked, how much does it weigh? I weighed it and it weighs 9.3 kilos, which is, it's pretty heavy. I think that's about 20 pounds for all you people who use pounds, I don't know. I got a medium size, so yeah, this is the medium. I was asked if the sizing was true to the sizing charts they have on their website, and it's pretty accurate. I got a little bit bigger, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna grow anymore. I'm only 16, so I'm not sure about that. But, so it comes to just above my belly button, which I find more comfortable anyway. It's a little bit big around my waist, probably because I got a higher size. So when I'm swimming, you can kind of see the gaping in the back, but I'll probably just get a belt or something to cover that up. Yeah, it fits really comfortably. It's really nice to wear in the water. Yeah, and it swims really well. I was kind of scared that I was going to get rubbing from the monofin, from the straps, but actually I didn't really. They rubbed a little bit, but that's, you know, they've got silicone straps, so it's a little bit fiddly to get your feet in and out of, but overall it didn't hurt really at all. I didn't get any blisters. I've only swum in it once so far, but I didn't get any blisters. I got a little bit of red rubbing marks, but nothing too drastic, so that was good. So I know Mermaid Gemini has done a review on her Mythic tail. She got the green one, and so I'll put a link to that in the description because she's got some good information and stuff as well. She noticed that after swimming in hers, the paint had started to scuff off some of the scales, and mine are still in really good condition. I didn't lose any either. I know that's been another thing that some people are worried about, but they're all still in really good condition. Because I got mine after Mermaid Gemini put her video up, so I was very aware that I should not be scuffing it on the bottom of the pool. The paint is still all intact. It still looks absolutely brand new. I'm really happy with that. I'll have to wait and see see how long it lasts in the future. I am prepared for some scales to fall off because that's what happens. They're sewn on with what looks like fishing line or something. They're sewn on pretty well, but they can come off if you rub it too much, or you know, you've got kids grabbing at you and stuff like that. But so I haven't had any scales come off. They do give you a little packet of like 10 scales in all the different colours. So if you do happen to lose them, like in open water or whatever, then you've got some spares. I'm hoping that it won't be too much of a problem for me because I'm not a very good seller. So that's not, yeah, it's been good for me. The scales themselves are really, really detailed. I'll bring the camera closer. You can see they've got patterns. They've all got the same lines in them, but you can see they're very detailed, and you can see this is where the fishing line attaches. But yeah, they're all really beautiful. I haven't had any scuffing yet, which is nice. And the blend into the next colour's very nice as well. Getting in and out of the water can be really difficult depending what kind of pool you're at. The pool that I went to has like a ridge on the side. So you can't, like, you have to get on the ridge and then jump into the pool. So getting up to the ridge was a little bit hard because it's only maybe like 1.5 feet wide, not wide enough to put this tail on the ridge. So me and my sister, who came with me to the pool, we laid down a towel and I put it on that way, and she helped me into it. And then we kind of, I wiggled onto the ledge, trying not to scuff the scales because I was really scared they were going to come off, and I kind of slid into the pool. That was probably the easiest part. Getting out was a lot tougher because there's a couple of stairs at the pool, but they were in use by like a couple of little kids, and I didn't want to be like, hey, can I steal your stairs? So I kind of had to do the whole lift yourself out of it and kind of flop onto the side, which wasn't very fun, and it took me a while. And everybody was looking at me, which was kind of awkward, but I got out eventually and I didn't lose any scales, and it still looked really good, so I'm really happy with that. So this is the tail completely unzipped down to the bottom of the dorsal fin. You can see the little tag thingy here. And so the inside is like bathing suit material, but it's kind of loose. You can see, like, you can pull it up, but it's attached like at the top, which helps you slide in. The only thing with this is it doesn't seem to be attached right at the bottom. So you can see here, that's actually open. Like, I can put my hand up there if I want to. And that kind of sits down there, but I found that it kind of bunches into the ankles a little bit. So yeah, it sits all the way down there. And the foot pockets are here. And I found that it kind of gets stuck around your ankles, and yeah, I'm not sure if it's like that on everyone's. Maybe mine just wasn't sewn in properly. I mean, it's not a huge problem, I can deal with it. It's just, yeah, something minor. But yeah, the material is really, really soft. And you can see here is where like the backs of all the scales are, which is, it kind of looks cool actually. But yeah, so that's the inside. Oh, there's a stick. The inside of the tail. Excuse any dog hair that's in there. My dog is evil and sheds everywhere. So transportation, it's big, as you can tell. I'll do a comparison with my old Finfun tail, and just so you can see how big it is, really. So this is my Finfun Mermaid monofin sitting on top of the Mythic tail one. You can see it's quite a lot bigger. This skin, I made the tail bit myself, but that's the monofin from Finfun. You can see towards the top, when this is stretched out, they're probably roughly the same size. Like I said, this one's a little bit big for me, but so yeah, that's the size of the Finfun one, which is quite a popular fabric monofin. The first time that I took it out, me and my sister, we just kind of folded it up, put it in our car, and while coming back just put a towel underneath it to keep the car dry. I'm thinking of getting a sort of like a suitcase or something that's a little bit water resistant to carry it in, because it's not very fun carrying a giant sopping wet tail anywhere, so hopefully that will happen. But because it's heavy, you probably want something you don't have to carry, like a bag on your back or something like that. So I'm hoping to find something that works really well for me. I'm not sure what other people are doing yet, but that's what I plan to do. For washing and drying and cleaning and that sort of thing, I just, I rinsed it off with the garden hose. We don't have a bathtub here, which is annoying, so I couldn't do it in a bath like lots of people do. But I rinsed it off really well with the garden hose. I'll put a video in of how I set it up to dry. So what I've done for drying is I've unzipped the whole tail down to where the zip finishes, and I've bent a noodle in half and shoved it up there to keep it open, and that goes all the way up to here. So that'll keep the tail bit open to let air in. And then I've propped the fluke up onto a small chair so that it can be diagonal, so that you can see the little drainage bits are still draining out holes. And there's one, and you can see there's a little hole. That's where the water comes out. It's still a bit wet, but I think this will probably work until I get a rack to hang it up to dry. But this is how I'm doing it at the moment, and it's working pretty well. It's nearly dry. How much did it cost? It ended up costing me, I think the US dollars was about 1100, I think. It's like, I think it was like 700 for the basic tail, and then you can get the fin upgrades for like 350 or something like that. So it's about 1100. Once the exchange rate came through, because I'm Australian, so it was about 1800, I think, which is a lot. But when you think about it, this is a professional grade tail. It's completely handmade, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it's totally worth the price. I'm hopefully going to be getting some work with this tail soon, doing some kids parties and stuff like that. So it's definitely worth the price. I know when people ask me and I tell them how much it was, they're like, how could you spend that much on like a piece of fabric? I'm like, it's not a piece of fabric, it's a lifestyle. Well, it is for me anyway, and I know it is for a lot of people, so definitely worth the money. It's definitely a really good way to go if you can't afford a full silicone one, because they're a whole lot more expensive. It's got the aspects of a full silicone tail, and it's so comfortable. It's probably got a few more pros than a silicone tail, probably a couple of cons as well, but it's so much easier to put on than a silicone one. And I'm overall very, very pleased with how it turned out. It swims really well in the water, it looks gorgeous on land, and it looks gorgeous in photos and everything. And honestly, I couldn't be more happy with it. So make sure you follow me on Instagram at Mermaid. I'll put a link in the thingamadood. I'll be posting more videos soon, so if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I will answer them as well as I can. Also, if you have any other video ideas that you want to see from me, also let me know, because I love hearing from you guys, and that'll be it. Stay. Okay.